What's up interlopers, Grace here, back with another No Man's Sky video, and today the game got a brand new update on the experimental branch. This is in fact the biggest update yet, and it contains over 100 changes over there that are really exciting. So we are going to jump right in with the highlights. There's a bunch of them in there that I really like, and a few of them that I don't like so much, but we are going to talk about all of that in just a little bit. In the meantime, this video has been sponsored by Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is a website that sells games at some of the cheapest prices you can find around, so if you also enjoy discounts, then go ahead and check out the links in the description. Now, I was talking about the experimental branch, and this is where you can actually get the update. If you're a Steam user, you can go in and check the update right now with all of its changes, provide some feedback, while the other platforms will have to wait a few more days until these changes go live for everybody. But in the meantime, let's go over some of the highlights, and I'm actually going to start things off with this one over here. A significant number of crashes and functionality issues with fleets and freighters in multiplayer have been addressed. There are also several changes to the HUD, including of course visual scaling for the 4K resolution, for alternative aspect ratios such as 21:9, and I believe that this is something a lot of players have been asking. We also now have the ability to customize HUD scale, and you can actually do this in game by simply going into the video options, and at the bottom over there the last option now has to do with HUD scale, and you can scale it down as low as 50% of what it is, and it's actually pretty good. I tested it around and I think I really enjoy it at around 70 to 80%. I think that is the sweet spot for 1440p. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's right where it needs to be, and I am really enjoying this this change, as a matter of fact, because I found some of the UI elements to be a little bit too big for my liking. Also, they added support for custom resolution scaling when playing in borderless mode, so you also have that if you're playing like that. Moving on though, we have a number of quality of life changes that I really like, and the one that I enjoy the most is the fact that they have added the ability to toggle auto power mode on the base computer in creative mode. So this supplies power by default to all props without having to place wires or generators. So pretty much exactly how it was before the Beyond update when the wiring system was introduced. And you can do this simply from your base computer. I tested this out. Currently it's only available for the creative mode, but it does exactly what it says. It turns off that feature, and now everything is going to be powered up without the usage of these cables. Another big quality of life feature that I also enjoyed is the fact that the survey device now allows us to select which type of hotspot you can search for. So instead of searching for the closest one, whichever that is, you can now actually select through these three options, either between the gases, the power sources, or the minerals. So it's definitely very useful. You can just switch between them with the buttons 1 and 3 on the keyboard, but I'm not really sure how it is on the consoles. It's a really nice quality of life change, especially those who are still building farms for that activated indium. And since we are on the subject of activated indium, it seems that they have balanced the yields for mineral hotspots, especially the ones that are activated. So activated stellar metal deposits are now a little bit more balanced compared to how it was before, and I did test this out with my old farm, the one that produced 250 million units per day. So with this farm I would normally get about 10,000 activated indium per hour, and it seems that with the new update I'm getting about half of that, so a little bit over 4.5, which is, you know, quite a significant nerf over there, but it's not entirely unjustified because it was way too easy to make units in this game with this method, and it was just one of the best methods in the game while also being passive, which is, yeah, it definitely required a nerf, and I'm actually glad that it's now a little bit more balanced. Moving on though, there's a number of changes to base building and base building limits that I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are going to enjoy. First of all, they have increased the local area complexity limit to allow more objects to be placed in a small area. There's also some optimization going on for a number of base parts that used up a large proportion of the local complexity limit, so this in theory should give you a bigger complexity, or at the very least consume less complexity when you're placing a lot of objects. There was also a very nasty issue where players would occasionally be unable to snap wires to base parts. This has also been fixed in the newest update, along with another one in terms of wires that would unsnap from base parts when leaving the base. I'm pretty sure that many of you guys had this issue where leaving the base would just have those wires disappear or unsnap from the actual connection point. Also, for the base building, there's a number of other quality of life changes over here, including of course the issue that caused friends bases to be named incorrectly, a number of issues where the visuals and animations of base parts did not accurately reflect their power status, reduced the intensity of the glow on light boxes, and this is actually a big one, fixed a number of collision issues with base parts, and a number over there that are really damn important. There's also audio finally added to battery and biofuel reactors, there's improved audio when placing wires, and a whole bunch of stuff over here in terms of base building that you're definitely going to love. But the one thing that has changed, and I'm not sure if it's in a good way or a bad way, let me know down below. The short-range teleporter now correctly uses teleport cables rather than standard electrical wiring to determine network connectivity, and if you don't have these teleport tables, you can actually go in and unlock them for free at the space anomaly. They're in the back room where you unlock all of the other base parts, and yeah, I kind of went in and tested this out, and I think that I definitely prefer the way it used to work rather than the new functionality. Even though these teleport cables make sense, I'm not sure another set of cables is the answer for this. We already have a ton of cables to manage and to deal with, and on top of this, it was already very convenient to have everything connected with one single cable to one single source and just have everything interconnected, so you can even hide a little bit of these cables, make it really tidy and neat, have them snap exactly where you wanted them to, which is something that the teleport cables currently aren't doing. So yeah, they are kind of like a distraction to me. I just don't like this change, but again, let me know down below, do you prefer the old way of having these connected with regular cables, or do you prefer the new way of having the teleport cables? Because I definitely didn't have a good time with this, especially since extending teleport cables over your regular base limit is now pretty much impossible because these don't snap as well as the regular ones. On top of this, there were also a number of glitches and game bugs that have been addressed, and one of the more important ones are in regards to the Mind Arc mission in the Artemis questline, and they have fixed an issue that would cause players to get stuck in a loop when trying to return the Mind Arc to Artemis, and this is one of the major points of complaint because this bug over here is as old as the mission itself, so every new update kind of breaks it. I believe that this is like the 50th time that this mission is getting fixed with this exact bug. Another cool little addition that I really liked is the fact that going into space stations now displays a welcome message on your ship's HUD. So this is going to be on the middle screen, and it will always read something like welcome aboard, and there's going to be the space station name itself at the bottom. So it's a really nice addition over there. I really like it. It helps a little bit with the immersion, and I really liked it. But yeah, you will need to be in first person view or play in VR in order to see it, because well, that is the only way you can actually see inside of your cockpit. Other problems that I found a little bit more important are as follows. First of all, the predators that would circle around their targets endlessly without ever attacking has also been addressed. Another one was for the issue that would charge players for a purchase but did not return the item if the inventory was full. This is something that actually affected my playthroughs quite a bit because, well, my inventories would always be full. Markers for locations that are not on board the space anomaly are now hidden when you are inside the anomaly. Thank God, because at some point, if you played in the online, you probably saw a ton of these markers on the map, and it was because, yeah, you were playing in multiplayer. A lot of other players would place markers on the planets on outside of the space anomaly, and it could seriously affect your FPS by just having this problem on your screen. Another couple of issues are with certain base parts that would reset, especially the refiners that would reset when you would leave your freighter or the current planet, as well as the carbon planters, which now have correctly enabled their power, allowing their plants to grow. But I did go ahead and test this out, and at the very least with the standing planters, they still seem to reset every single second. They don't grow their plants anymore. So yeah, it's still the same bug that it was ever since this new update was introduced. I'm not really sure if this is an oversight, maybe it applies to other carbon planters, but for the standing planters this is still not fixed. So yeah, it's still going to have some issues, which is why I have gone ahead and reported it as well. There's also a new implementation in the graphics option, so HBAO implementation has been replaced with a higher quality temporal AO solution, and going over the graphical options in the game, this is now called GTAO, and you can actually choose it between high, enhanced, standard and even turning it off. And yeah, it definitely makes a little bit of a difference, though in terms of FPS and all that kind of stuff, I haven't seen it affecting too much, and yeah, it looks kinda cool. There's also a number of significant CPU optimizations over here, the management of graphic memory pools, introduce a number of memory optimizations for the Xbox One, the memory usage of interaction dialogue has also been optimized, and there's a bunch of other optimizations over here, including for the VR. OpenVR has also been updated to the latest release, and they have fixed a number of minor loading issues. Another bug that was affecting technology upgrades was the one that would let them function even when they would be damaged or partially installed. So whenever you install technology, you also need to like fit them in with the certain required materials, but the technology is still installed and sometimes you can still get the benefit from it. It seems that at least in terms of the rocket boots and the hazmat gauntlets, these have now been fixed to only function when they are fully fixed and not partially damaged. Moving on to crash fixes, I'm happy to say that they have finally fixed a console-only crash when saving the game with a very large or long save game, and there's a bunch of others in there as well, including when changing GPU on the PC, a crash related to particle emitters, crash to region navigation when using the teleporter on the space anomaly, and on top of this there's a number of other changes over here that I skipped. Not all of them are that important, I just wanted to go over the more important ones, but yeah, that is it with the newest update. It's pretty damn big. I'm also excited about many of the changes. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up on it would be super appreciated. Also subscribe and activate the notification bell, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one.